So next up, we have Lawrence Samuels.
Yes, I'm L.K. Samuels. I'm a historian, chaologist. I did the book here, Killing History. People ask me to come here and talk about some of the things I discovered. When you spend about 6 years on the political spectrum, you find a lot of stuff. I'm here to tell you about how you are walking into minefields with this critical race theory. Now, I'm not a conservative. I belonged to the ACLU for many years, even the NACP for a while. I've been a peace activist on the coast. I'm not, I consider myself a liberal, a radical liberal, a John Lockean liberal. But what you're doing when you talk about critical race theory is the conservatives are wrong. It didn't come from Marxism. It came from the National Socialist of Germany. Think about this. Oppressor race, oppressed race. Who talked about the oppressors and the oppressed? It was the National Socialist. They believed that the Germans and the Aryans were being oppressed by another race. This is what the Germans and the Nazis thought. And who was that oppressor race? That was the Jews. So when you start talking about one race is better than the other, or one is the oppressor, or one's the oppressed, you're talking about Nazism. And this led to the Holocaust. You can't go around and start saying this race is good, this race is bad. It will lead to a racial war. And guess who talked about this? Well, the Nazis naturalized all the government schools, all the schools in Nazi Germany, and they started to indoctrinate. There was racial math, racial biology, racial this, racial science, everything was racial. Even climate, they found a way to do it. And these kids were indoctrinated to learn to hate a certain race. And that's what led to it. And guess who were some of the biggest supporters of this? It was the Teachers Union, the National Socialist Teachers League. They're the ones that made sure that children kept an eye on their parents if they said something bad, and pretty soon that person might disappear. They made sure certain teachers got fired or shamed, changed all the textbooks. So you should be very careful what you do. And you can call it what you want, critical race theory or ethnic studies, or what you want. You not get into this thing. I mean, look what the BOM from Toronto, Canada said. She said she dreamed about killing men and white people. She said that whites were subhuman. Now, who in history has said a certain race was subhuman? The Nazis called the Jews that, and it killed millions of them. So if you start going towards this critical race theory, you're heading towards racism and fascism.
Mr. Samuels, you can wrap up, please.
Thank you.